All right, welcome back to Terrible at Fishing, everybody. Well, we're going to talk about motors. I know, motors. When I first bought this boat, I bought a Newport motor. Newport is a good name in motors. And then a few months into it, something went wrong. And I ended up sticking in the garage and then buying a Minn Kota. And very frustrated with it. So a week or so ago, I took it apart and noticed that the seal come on, focus. The seal had ruptured. Let's get this to focus. And the motor assembly had filled up with water. So I sent pictures of it and everything over to Newport. A 2-year warranty on it. I don't hold my breath for warranties, but they looked at the pictures, saw that it was a defect, and they sent me another one. Here. Now, I really like this motor. I loved it when I haven't opened it yet. So the company's in California, so it only took a couple days for them to get this motor to me. And it's a 55-pound thrust X series. Now, what I love about the X series that I don't about the Endura by Minn Kota is that this has a tilt handle. It tilts like the Traxxas or the Endura Max. I think it does too. So let's pull this thing out. Wait, my room's really not this tall. A couple other things I like about Newport, besides they honor their warranties. Come on. You can do it, Mike. You can do it. Alright. There we go. I think, that's everything. Another thing I like about them is that they give you a circuit breaker. I had to buy a circuit breaker for the Endura, the Minn Kota. And I use a Newport box, which is done very, very well. Stop. Contact Newport Vessels Direct for all customer service questions. Okay. The propeller. And I like that. And this little, I use that. It's a 50 amp circuit breaker. So please connect to the right cable. Yeah, sure. Oh, let's just leave that in the box for now. So I love this. And it also telescopes. This is the X series. So I like also that it's got a flat spot. So I can feel it and I can know without looking at it what setting I'm on by the extent of where that flat spot is. Something again the Minn Kota doesn't do. Now they do have a very good 10 spot meter on this. Now if you're using a lead acid, it works great. But if you're using lithium, don't rely on it. For some reason, battery meters don't work well with lithium batteries. I do use a lithium battery. But I do like... I also got more thrust from the Newport than I do with the Minn Kota. And probably, I'm not sure, but I'd have to try it. It's the propeller. Now, I did get another nice little note from the owner of Newport. And so that was really nice. I mean, big company like Newport, usually, it's probably, who knows, it's just, we call it a random one. But the Minn Kota has a 2-blade. And this has a larger 3-blade propeller to it than the Minn Kota. So, not sure if that's the reason, because they're both 55 pounds. They both have similar amp draws, which is about 50 amps. I use a 100 amp hour battery, so on full bore I could go 2 hours on this. But you seldom go full bore. Usually I'm at half that, maybe less. I'm doing 2, maybe 3 out of the 5. And since this has more thrust, I'm going to have to get used to this a little bit. And so with more thrust, same amp draw, but I like the tilt handle, because you guys see me in my boat. I'm always back here, but lifting it up like this will be really, really, really nice. So they do give you the tools to put the prop on. It's just a little wrench, and then you got the washer, the nylock, and then the pin that goes in there, because the pin goes in the shaft and it falls right in this little area right here, and it keeps it from spinning. So this is a 55-pound X series by Newport. It is the biggest in 12 volts that you can possibly get typically. 24 volts you can get up to an 86-pound thrust, which would give me about 15% more power. But I'd have to spend another $300 on another battery. And I use a Lossity, and they run only about $300 right now over on Amazon. The Lossity 100 amp lithium battery, another good company to buy from. I had a problem with their batteries, and I bought a really nice charger for it, but the charger wasn't doing well. So they sent me a charger free of charge. So again, testimony. The companies that I use, things like Cajun sent me another rod for the one that snapped, and then Piscifun, they don't have the rod that I snapped, and I have to wait for another rod to come in stock. So, but both companies are doing their best to accommodate their warranties, and that is a big, big plus. So, if you're thinking about Newport, I'll be using this tomorrow on the lake. And I do miss it. I really do. I really do miss having this motor. I do love the fact they gave you a circuit breaker, a 60 amp circuit breaker on this thing. And that's a big deal. If you're running this thing at full bore, it's pulling at max amp, which is I think 52. And you do have a surge or something, I don't know. Anyway, got a circuit breaker. So, well made, but the first one failed. And we're going to give this a shot. I'll keep my Minn Kota for a while. And I really like this motor better than the Minn Kota. I like the 3-blade option. I like the tilt handle. And something about having good customer service. And I like this handle right here. This is flat here, and it's got ridges underneath. So it's not just smooth all the way around or, grippy all the way around like the Minn Kota. But this one right here, you can actually, know without looking where the position of the handle. That sounds weird, but when you're trolling as much as I am and running your engine as much as I am, this is really nice, because I'm always looking here, to see if I'm on 2, 3, 4, or whatever. I know when I'm on 5, so you don't have to know. So it's got 5 forward, 3 reverse speeds. Now, one thing about the Minn Kota too, it's acting up. The Minn Kota, when I turn it over to go to 4 from 4 to 5. I have to click it and try to get it to kick in. So even the Minn Kota is acting up. So I will notify Minn Kota. And I do have a Minn Kota dealer here in Klamath Falls. That's where I bought it. And I want to see what their warranty service is like. It's just in the attenuator, So it'll be interesting to see if I can get a similar satisfaction from a bigger company like Minn Kota. So anyway, this is the Newport X Series 55-pound thrust telescoping tilting head. Really, really nice. And a large 3 thin bladed prop. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and I guess I'll see you out on the water tomorrow. We are shooting for a state record out on Lake of the Woods. I have modified my baits with better hooks, bigger hooks. We're going to see what we can get out there. Take care, everybody. See you out on the water tomorrow.